Oof. Starting off strong. So I'm just having quiet time with spirit, with the divine, with God, and I'm reflecting on a lot of things. And I'm realizing in this moment that a lot of the reason that I've rejected the concept of God is because not just the concept of God, but rejected the concept of a male God and the son, I think the main reason that I have rejected that is because I didn't see myself, and because I didn't understand the mother. And when I understand the mother, it helps me understand the father, and it helps me understand the son, because of course, the masculine leads because the divine masculine is born of the mother, and there is no reason why, when you have a true, genuine mother, that you as a son should not be able to lead and should not be able to be a father. And it's like, it feels like the masculine principle, this whole time has been trying to lead me to the feminine, even in its rejection of me and its belittling of me and its abuse of me. It's only led me to myself, and in that, it's only led me to the mother. And it just makes sense. It just makes sense. Because when I think of being a mother, then I think of the divine masculine principle that is born of the woman. It puts the idea of a male god or a father in a whole different perspective, because I feel like I've been projecting my trauma onto the masculine. I've been projecting my experience of fathers and men affect the way I value God, and the way I value the divine masculine principle within myself and within others. And in doing that, it only divides me from myself, and it only divides me from my purpose, which is union and connection and creation, co-creation. And it's the divine feminine's role to lead, not the woman, but the divine feminine's role, or maybe this is the embodied balanced being, is when it comes to that moment of co-creation, there is a need to deny the false masculine and to embrace the divine masculine. I don't even want to say false, or the wounded masculine, and to embrace the healed and divine masculine, and to guide them to my womb in a way that feels safe for me, in a way that feels sacred for me. But even in that, to be led is so sacred, and that dance between the two. And I feel like in my spiritual life, that's what I'm yearning for, is the dance between being led by the masculine and then also letting myself lead in moments of co-creation and like moments of intimacy, and like being able to discern like who is worthy of me in that way and who is worthy of my creative energy in that way. And I feel like it's so important for me to lead with my spirituality, because things don't feel right unless I operate from this place. And I can feel when spirit is speaking to me from that truthful place, because it always moves me to tears, and like it always like penetrates the heart. 555, as I said that. And it's like at a certain point, it's not about like what religion I follow or like how it, like my practice looks. It's just like when I hear and when I intuit and am able to like honor and nurture that connection, there's just like this immense sense of love that I feel from like the masculine principle and the feminine principle. There's this like, and it's like, it's not even division, because the more the more united they become, the more you realize they're just one thing, you know. It's just like polar opposite ends of the spectrum of creation, you know, like. And it's just beautiful to see, even in my own relationship, how that reflects. Because, like, of course, people, I'm sure, would watch this video if I ever post it and be like, well, what is the divine masculine? What is the divine feminine? You know, and I don't think there's one clear answer for that. I just think it's like the principles of creation when it comes down to, like, life. When it comes down to, like, not expression, not artistic expression, not gender, just life. When it comes down to like the like sacred science of co-creation and bodies, and how that like reflects in so many different ways, like spirit and flesh. And it is miraculous to create with someone. And I think I've been like attaching an expectation to what miracles look like, or attaching an expectation. Like, I didn't realize like the spiritual vastness of relationship when I manifested it. Like when I was younger and I was like always constantly fantasizing about romance and all that stuff, like I didn't fully grasp the vastness of what I was yearning for, or even what it would mean and what it would uncover for me or reflect for me. And now it's just like, and I could go into so much depth, like there's so much to talk about, and it's like, it's so easy to get distracted by what's going on outside of me. And like in these times, I feel like the biggest call is to like nurture that union with self, and to surrender and to co-create and to express my love. And like mother, master, teacher, like I can't minimize like what I do like as a teacher into a fucking $5,000 course and like all that shit, you know what I'm trying to say? Like I'm gonna need spirit to illuminate the path. And I feel like the way that the path is illuminated for me is through like my dreams, my visions, and my desires and my visions. That's what I said. My dreams, my visions and desires, and my feelings, my sensations and synchronicities that I get, but also just from this conversational space. And it's such a deeply personal and like ever unraveling space, and such a vulnerable and intimate space. And I also feel like when it comes to like women, and when it comes to like the divine feminine, I'm also here to help women transmute their rage towards the masculine, so that they can embrace the healthy, healed masculine principle into their life, into their spirituality, into their soul, and to bridge that gap. And it just makes so much sense, like why, like everything just makes sense when I think about it from that perspective. So I'm so grateful for that clarity, because it's pow pow, you know. Because like when the divine masculine is leading but in a separating way, meaning like it seeks to separate the feminine from itself, or the connection from self to body, or whatever it's seeking to separate, that's not the divine masculine. The divine masculine leads to weave, not to divide. And to discern like the difference between that, and not let one lens of the masculine in your subconscious, in your spirit, how you feel it and perceive it, to not let that one lens of it keep you out of union, or keep you one from like coming into union with that aspect of yourself, and with that aspect of your partner, your mate, or your surroundings, or your spirit. 1111, because then they're always connected, you know what I mean? Like you can't have the mother without the father, and you can't have the father without the mother, you can't have the mother without the son, you know what I'm trying to say? Like it just is it's like, and then when you like fill the gaps that maybe like religion and programming and doctrines like leave, because of the mind control and the twisting of it all, if you are able to fill in those gaps with what you know in your heart to be real, and you know in your heart to be true, it starts to feel so much more like open. And when you don't allow like other people's perception of truth or faith deter you from embodying and walking in your faith in whatever way that looks like for you, then like anything is possible, and your life is able to change. I just saw 1212, and it's, you open up to deeper levels of truth and spirit, and it becomes balanced. It becomes balanced because you're not denying one aspect of yourself, and you're not overindulging in another aspect of yourself. You're not denying your faith, but you're not overindulging in concepts and, you know, other explorations that maybe aren't so rooted, or aren't so needed, or aren't so aligned with you in this moment. This is a very like deep and layered and like complex message, and a lot of what I'm saying is like, if there was like a tab, like if you like clicked it, there would be like a whole, like each sentence is like a, if there was a tab, it would be like a list of things that would be like separate conversations. So if any of this is resonating with you, please ask questions. I do ask that you be polite and you don't project your fear and shame, and but honestly, if that's what's coming up for you, that's welcome as well. There's wisdom in that as well. But yeah, yeah, and allowing myself to show up like this is probably the realest I could ever show up. Like, yes, it's real. Oh, it's real when I show myself like, you know, having fun and being like la 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 la, but like this right here, like me sitting in contemplation and conversation with the divine, is really like the realest it gets, and the most profound, and the most like there's the most potential for healing, and the most potential for teaching and transformation in that. And I can't confine myself to one aspect of this, because that would not be honoring the depth that I hold. So yeah. If you resonate with this message, like you are 1414, definitely soul tribe. Please reach out. Please let me know who you are, where you are in your journey. And I'm hoping that we can connect, and knowing that our paths are going to cross in one way or another if they haven't already. My name is Brooklyn, for those of you who don't know. I am many things. Yeah, if you are drawn to this, you're already a part of my world, so I'm just going to let you discover on your own timing. But yeah, I love you, and I hope this resonated with you in some way, shape, or form. Peace.